Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to your MCN for Wednesday. A few things to go over. Like if you haven't seen already, we did a video yesterday about the upcoming changes to AI and the importance of it. There's so many things that are just massively important, and the AI is one of them. It's such a big fundamental for the game and has been damaged and broken for years, even though Kabam say recently. It's not recently. But it was interesting to note, and as well a lot of people kind of noted on these particular changes or kind of things that are going to be happening and stuff like that. No mention of AI reaction time. Well, that could be something to come in the future. So like lots of thoughts and processes on this particular thing. But I think in a nutshell, people are glad that Kabam are actually kind of like looking into something which has been a little bit kind of broken for years. Get involved with that particular discussion in the comments and as well over on the thread, which I've put a link to in the description, and check out the full video. So one thing that was really interesting, and second story for today, is that last week when we had the release of Act 8.3, which is so weird to kind of think like this content's been out a week, people have already smashed it. Look, that's not an unusual thing with MCOC, but just out of curiosity for those interested, if you go to Act 8.3.4, you'll see an Unduped Thing. And you might be wondering to yourself, like, why is this a thing? Well, Kabam answered this particular question last week, and especially this comes fresh from the team, saying the thing boss in Quest 4 is deliberately unduped. This was a design decision to ensure the fight felt fair, as Thing's signature ability applies a potent damage cap on the opponent, and with his inflated health pool, would likely prolong the fight needlessly. They don't know of my 26-minute video of me taking down Behemoth. I've got to look back to the comment section of that video and check see if people are interested in seeing that. I would never want to put it upon anybody to see a 26-minute solo of Behemoth with a King Groot. I sped up the fight for that video because I just thought, people don't want to see this. People obviously don't know the untapped potential of King Groot. And when people learn about how kind of like his intense survivability is, they are then going, yes, I understand why Rich likes this. That's hopefully putting you in a picture of this Thing fight or Thing boss fight. Next up, and I didn't do a video devoted to this one, but I thought let's do a little bit of coverage of the Dani Moonstar and Lady Deathstrike rebalances and changes. So, people seem to be disagreeing with some of these changes. I wonder what in particular they're not so happy about. Dani Moonstar was designed to be primarily attack focused with some minor defensive threats to play around. Her combo of marked and slow passives, as well as the brand new Neuro Shock Dot, was targeted at annoying skill defenders, as well as a character who utilizes a cheat death mechanic. In general day-to-day matchups, we're happy with what we're seeing, as her damage and overall with rate have landed in a healthy spot. In comparison to comparable mutant attackers, however, her performance against a defending Nick Fury is showing to be lower than targeted, especially in comparison to other popular counters in the battle realm. With this in mind, we are looking to upgrade her effectiveness in this matchup with her Neuroshocks as an area of interest. More info to come. Okay, so that looks like that's going to get a little bit of a damage buff in places. Lady Deathstrike joined the contest as a mutant slayer with some sneaky defense tendencies. Yada yada yada. That being said, there was initial concern about the way she scales off of armor and not base attack. We investigated her scaling at different future ranks. I wanted to see if it felt like with comparables in both damage and class, which it did. Her lower rarities are substantially stronger than her counterparts, which was intended as a fun part of the design. So keep bullying Gauntlet Weapon X with the 3-star. Okay. All of that being said, we are tuning down her synergy with Sentinel, giving him giving him extremely strong cowardice potency. The same way that we tuned down Shocker synergy with Spider-Man Symbiote. Otherwise, Lady Deathstrike will be staying as is. Okay, well, there you go. There's something interesting. Shocker. While working on Shocker's buff, we uncovered a bug in which his damage was scaling improperly because of the scope of the fix. We are sadly pushing back his rebalance to December, where he will be accompanying Red Skull. Sandman will be releasing on schedule, so look forward to destroying those sugar pill defenders in the meantime. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think the take from that, the Dani Moonstar one, is interesting from a point of view of, well, how do they plan to give out? Is this giving more damage across the board, or does this feel very much kind of like for the mutant versus skill pair up, or indeed for that kind of Nick Fury pesky fight, as it says here? However, performances against defending blah 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 blah. With this in mind, we're looking to upgrade her effectiveness in this matchup, so her neuro shocks as an area of interest. So more info to come. What will they be improving? And will it be a case, as I said, it will be just felt on that particular matchup? Will there be more? We'll have to see in the future. Next up and on to modders. Yes, modders in Battlegrounds. Interesting. This player says this season has been the worst so far. Modders every 3 to 4 matches seems an advanced anti-cheat has been turned off. It's always weird when people put this statements like this out with no kind of like extra context. I know it's difficult to kind of put screenshots in, but I would say contact Kabam, put a ticket in, put the names in, Kabam can check them, and any types of times there's a scan of the models or people that are modded within the month, then of course it's going to be picked up towards a certain point of the season, so to speak. But look, question's still going to be there. Are there more cheat? Put in the comment section, have you this season gone off against a modder or a hacker? As Kabam Jack says here, bans happen in waves, and the unfortunate reality is that infractions have to occur before someone can be caught in a ban wave. Someone has to face a modder for us to be able to ban a modder. It sucks big time, but it's inevitable. That's a sad thing about it. We talked in the past about, you know, how it would be great for a live anti-cheat to pick off something that's happening mid-fight. So, you know, if they won by round 2, but they've won by cheating, then the scanning system should have picked it up in game 1, therefore giving the person that's been cheated on the win by proxy. Because at the end of the day, it's either going to be a case of like, look, modder's going to win. If modder's going to win, you've lost out on elder marks, you've lost out on energy, and you've lost out in general. You've lost your time, which is very, very annoying. But in any case, that kind of gives an idea that Kabam are going or a plan to deal with the stuff. But look, if you've had a cheat, then let Kabam know, do a support ticket, and as well, yeah, just kind of like hold sure that Kabam will deal with it, or at least we hope they'll deal with it in this particular regard. Now we're going to move on to Alliance War Season 45. Season 45 starts with its pre-season on the 25th and launches on November 8th. So look out for that. Very, very exciting for those that like it. I didn't really have a good season this season. I'm hoping for what I've had a good season in Season 43. Season 44, man, not so much. So, got to pick it back up, you know, dust off the cobwebs, get back into it as well. I did see a lot of things when it came to potential, well, people abusing the system, but maybe it's Kabam's system that's broken. So, here's the example, actually Kabam addressing it. So matchmaker changes. After doing some investigations to figure out why some alliances were getting consistent rematches with the same alliances in higher tiers, we have made some adjustments to help avoid these matches from occurring. Now players should see some variations in their season matchups at higher tiers, rather than being put in front of familiar faces all the time. This will go into effect during off-season. So that kind of like gives you a bit of an idea there. Because people were facing each other in seasons and finding that they were getting like easier matchups by proxy, some of the top alliances. And it was just super weird. And obviously there was a lot of kind of like, you know, bends into the, well, it feels like it's like some kind of element of collusion. It's not free. It's just a case of like Kabam's matchmaking was not good enough in this particular element. And at the same time, look, if you're in the top 10 alliances and alliance wars, chances are you're going to face off against each other multiple times. In this particular seg, like the way they're going to do it is that you just won't see that as much. The bans wise, it looks like the blacklist is Titania and Hulk, which is annoying. Well, it's not annoying because I don't have a Hulk and I just started using my Titania. Whitelisted is Ghost and Kingpin, which is cool because I want to bring back using my Kingpin again. Blacklist is Human Torch, and Whitelist is Ghost. So find a better miscounter than Human Torch. I've definitely been experimenting with some different options, including an Omega Sentinel, which has been a real godsend for kind of usage in the last season and the season before, actually, mainly season 43. I want to say I used Omega Sentinel as my go-to miscounter, so it was nice. Also, for those interested, it's going to be a case season 44's tactics will carry forward. Tactics change on even numbered seasons, to give you a real idea right there for those interested. And there we go, that has been the MCN for Monday. I would do arena predictions, but they've not popped up whilst I've been recording this. But it's been really cool to take a little bit of a breather over Monday and Tuesday. The weekend, I didn't really get any time to rest. It was a case of just covering the Battle Realm Brawl. It was interesting to note that there are some people from Battle Realm Brawl that have picked up, well, I know Legacy's picked up COVID. So yeah, that's some ways I'm glad I didn't go, because it was an amazing event. But if you're kind of just, and this is the thing I would advise, hand sanitizer for these events. Happened when I went to New York Comic Con. There's a lot of bugs going around. Also, I would recommend to everybody, and this works for me, it may not work for other people, rotate garlic regularly into your diet. It is just a game changer for kind of clearing bugs, or at least building up a really strong immune system. But that's just a personal recommendation. People will say ooh, but look, I recommend it. I've waved off some colds, or kind of close to colds, and yeah, so I'd recommend that one. But anyways, this is not about my kind of consumption habits and stuff like that. This is all about I've got a series coming soon, which is a secret and rare champion series. It is a 19-episode series, which I started recording back in July. I've only just finished recording it as of the 24th of October. So I've worked on it for 3 months, and now I've got to do the edits of it. And then when it's done, it is basically going to chart old champions that could have made the light of day, that were boss champions for a time. Like Old Man Human Torch. Did you know about that one as a boss you faced off against? Maybe you didn't. And the series ends with a interview with Gabriel Fazera. So that is really cool, and I'm looking forward to getting that series out to you. But in any case, thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content which will be located on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be a guide to week 4 of the Knulls Void, and I'll try and get some other content Act 8.3 orientated very, very soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.